You're all set.
Great. Good evening. The West Hartford Commission of the Arts April 17th meeting will now come to order. My name is Chuck Corsi, and I'm the chair of the Arts Commission. This meeting is being conducted in a virtual format in accordance with Federal Freedom of Information Act as amended by Public Act number 21-2, which authorizes municipalities to conduct public meetings virtually. Members of the public can view the meeting live on West Hartford Community Television at www.whctv.org and YouTube/WHCTV5. The meeting is also being recorded for on-demand viewing and will be available on the town website. Since we are conducting this meeting in a virtual format, there are a few special rules and procedures I need to cover before we begin. First, I ask all participants to mute your device when you are not speaking. If you wish to be recognized, please raise your hand and I will call on you in the order I see hands raised. If you are participating by audio only, or I do not call on you and the debate is ending, then unmute your phone and let me know so that I can recognize you. Second, all speakers must make a good faith effort to state the person's name and title in the onset of each occasion that such person participates in the meeting. Third, all votes must be taken by roll call unless the vote is unanimous. Fourth, a reminder that if any participant has a problem with connectivity, she will connectivity. You should immediately call David immediately or myself. We will let you in once immediately once the problem is resolved. If it cannot be resolved quickly, we ask that you call into the meeting using the phone and participate via audio only. Let's proceed with the roll call. Karen Bachman.
Here.
Matthew Bragg.
Here.
Javier Colon is absent. Chuck Corsi is here. Latanya Farrell.
Here.
Ginny Kemp. Ginny Kemp is here. Carol McCabe is absent. Marilla Pinedasor.
Here.
And Susan Rothenberg.
Here.
Excellent. We have a quorum. Let's get out of there. First, you received the minutes last week. And again, I want to thank Marilla for her service over these last couple of years in providing the minutes so diligently for us all to review. Do I hear a motion to approve the March meeting minutes? Okay, Karen makes the motion. Do I hear a second? Ginny seconds. This is the important stuff, Sue. Okay, any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor signify by raising your hand or saying aye. Aaron, Matt, you say aye? There you go. Okay, it's unanimous. Excellent. Okay. David, I decided to bump up the public comment so people don't have to wait through the whole thing. Do we have anybody online that would like to speak on something that's on this agenda or something else that's on their mind?
We have no one on the line.
Shocked. Okay. So let's go to old business. And we have some interesting stuff going on. I'm going to turn it over to, I'll speak about this first. The Why West Hartford Arts and Culture Calendar. You'll be happy, I know I am, to know that we finally reached kind of an understanding with the folks who at the chamber in the town who control the Why West Hartford website, which is quickly becoming a resource. It's like any other thing. It's, it doesn't happen overnight, but people are quickly going there. And what better reason would people want to go there is to know what's going on in the arts and culture scene in West Hartford. So we have an approved form that individual organizations can complete. I will send it out to all of you so you can take a look at it. But I did share it with all members of the West Hartford Arts and Culture Collaborative and have already started receiving some calendar requests, and that's all very good news. Again, I'm sure it's not perfect, but I didn't want to. We didn't want to make. We wanted to get something up and running, and we can modify the form as we go forward if we need to. Haven't gotten any criticism back from any of the arts organizations on the format, so I'll take that as a good sign. Does anybody have any questions about this? Yes, Karen.
So I had the opportunity to see the form ahead of time or ahead of this meeting because I'm on the West Hartford Arts and Culture group and collaborative. And so I was one of the people who submitted the form, which, as I understood it, from Chuck gave us like the criteria of what's acceptable, what they'll be printing in the calendar from now on. And then there was a form that was you could, I don't know what that's called, but when you can fill it in right there electronically, you don't have to print it, and that was great. My only question is, where's that form going to sit? Like, is it going to be on the website so that when you go there, or do individual organizations need to keep the form, which could be cumbersome?
No.
Where will it sit? It's a simple form. I don't know if you can see it.
Excellent show and tell, Karen.
It has
Thank you for showing
the date, the time, who the organization is, and that actually should have been at the top, maybe the name of the organization, but that's a small little thing.
Yeah.
It was a great form. It's nice and simple, and I tested it out because we have an event coming up, and I hope you received it, Chuck.
Yeah.
So my question is, where will it sit besides when you send it out, so that other organizations out there, I'm thinking St. Joe's or University of Hartford, or places that have arts events going on, where will they find it?
Yeah, the form itself doesn't sit anywhere. We use the information in the form. So what happens, the form comes to me, I send it to Renee McHugh at the town, and she enters the information onto the calendar. The calendar, and then that information will all reside on the West Hartford. And when I send the form to you guys, I'll also send the link to the calendar, westhartford.com calendar.
But then how do you get the form again for like next year's event or the next event?
Oh, well, now, okay, that's a good question.
That's what I meant by where will it sit, so that, you can pull it up, access it, fill it out.
Yeah.
And I guess what I did was I saved it and then I emailed it to you, which seemed like that's how we were supposed to do it.
You may have and what we can do is we have, I have on right there staring at me on my desktop, a blank form.
Okay.
Maybe what you might want to do is the first time you can go back to the email that I sent and save that blank form that I sent. And use that for any event that's coming up. If you have another concert or another event coming up after that, you can just fill out a new form each time.
Well, how will organizations that aren't on the mailing list for the West Hartford Cultural Collaborative, or maybe that aren't represented here, how will they get the form?
That's a good question. We will give it to anybody. I think we've done a pretty good job in identifying the different arts and culture organizations in town that actually, would, fit the criteria of posting events. But if we're always open, and this is where the collaborative can help.
Can it be a link when you go on to West Hartford, the West Hartford, when you go to the calendar page, can there be a link at the bottom? When you hit it, it brings you to the form?
You know what? That's a good question.
There should be. I mean, you should be able to get that. Am I right, LaTanya? You're our IT genius here.
I'm not an IT genius. Thank you so much.
I know, but you know, in this group, you're
I,
more
I'm-
advanced.
as I'm listening, I'm trying to understand what process you had. Like in my head, I'm saying to myself, did you fill out a survey like the survey that I created for us to do the mission statement? Or
No.
did you just click on a link and it was a document and then you were able to save the document and then you emailed a document back? Like what I don't understand the
Chuck
process.
sent an email out to each of the members of the collaborative. And so that was like 6 or 7 organizations
Mhm.
on the mailing list. And in it, he explained, he had the policy and the form. He explained it, and then he attached the policy. So it's, you know, something to read, to understand. And then and the form was attached. So the form you could fill in, but it wasn't a link. So at that point, I had, like he's saying, save the email. I can do that. But the form is something I have to save in a blank form, so I have it again for the future for other events.
Yeah.
I think it can be streamlined if you talk to that webmaster. Whereas on your form, when you go to the calendar, you can have the policy written there. It can be attached, or you can have it as a link with, you know, see policy, and there's a button you push and the form sits behind it. Or you can have the policy written out, and then you hit another link that has the form. Right? Am I right, Latanya? I mean, we have that on our website.
I still wanted to understand. So when Chuck, when you attached the form, people were able to fill it out. When you filled it out,
It didn't go anywhere. I was looking for a link at the bottom to send, but it didn't. I had to save it and then send it.
If you guys want, I am sending you guys the form right now.
yeah, let me see as soon as I see what you're talking about, then I
It's a
can say.
PDF. The
Because
form
I
is
was thinking, like, in the future, that sits in my computer, right? I can put it on, we have a shared set of documents, Dropbox, in our organization, and the next person to handle publicity could find it that way. But what about new organization, you know, thinking the future, new organizations, or organizations that, like University of Hartford has a number of things from different departments, like they have the plays, the ballets, you know, and the dance and the music, you know, maybe several people handle that. So it should be more accessible through the website is all I'm saying, or I think. But let's Tanya take a look at it.
Let's see. Hold on, I'm going to try and share my screen.
Gotcha.
Because it was really well thought out, I thought.
Yeah. So there are a couple of things to keep in mind. One is that we do not control Why West Hartford.
Right.
And there was, you know, there was a lot of discussion on this to do it. At first, there was understandably some reluctance that we did not want to overwhelm the people that administer Why West Hartford. And we also we wanted to protect the calendar also, so that we didn't get everyone. There are some calendars. I'm on the board of the chamber, and they had gone to where they let people directly input the information to go on the chamber's calendar page. And any good marketer would take advantage of that and utilize that. But what happens sometimes is, without that, those couple of steps, you get things posted to a calendar that maybe push out other things that fit the criteria. Whereas, the one thing that I'm really concerned about is there are some great organizations in town that do special events for profit. They're not arts organizations. So I mean, we need to be careful, and also we need to work with our partners here at the chamber and at the town to make sure they're overburdened. I think they had no problem with putting arts and culture events on the calendar. I think that their concern was, you know, how do we control it to make sure that it's used for its purpose and not hijack? That's why there's that two-step process where people fill out this PDF, and you can see, you know, here's the criteria that we try to make.
And also when you get to unacceptable,
Yes.
the wording's confusing. I mean, my event was acceptable, but unacceptable calendar postings may include, so you can't put workshops up, like if the
No.
Art League is running a workshop, you can't put those up.
No.
Okay,
That's what we kind of
sure.
agree to. It's
All right.
performances, it's concert, it shows and exhibits. Now, if this workshop also is an art show or an exhibit,
Right.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
They have art shows, so that's what they
Yeah.
would put up.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. So you keep going. And then to view example of calendar formatting, I didn't go there. I didn't need to. Keep going down.
Mhm.
You have the nonprofit part.
Yeah.
And then he attached the form. Here's the form.
Gotcha.
And you can print right on that form. Like
Yeah.
if Chuck were to print something, you'll see it stays right on the blue lines there.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, what it did for me is it automatically opened in Google Docs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it didn't do that for me.
Did it open it in Word for you?
Yes.
It's a PDF. I think that's, you're a great user and you've mastered Google Docs.
Nope,
When
not
I
everyone
open this,
uses them.
yeah, it just opens as a regular PDF.
Gotcha.
A
It's a
fillable
fillable PDF.
Mhm.
Yeah, got it. So people, they do that, and then after they fill it, they save it, and then they send it to you. So you're
Yeah.
getting back an actual document.
Yes.
Okay.
And two questions. One is at the bottom of it, Chuck's email is there.
Yeah.
Could it be set up electronically to just send it to Chuck at the bottom? And then the other question is, I understand what you're doing about protecting the website, but if you have the criteria and if you're willing to have it go through you, then you got two checks and balances. You said this is unacceptable and this is acceptable. And you're going to see them. You're going to be the one that sends them to Renee, who will do the posting.
And also, if I may add something, when you said that there are some for-profit organizations out there that might want to post something, I think you should spell it out, a little bit better on who for-profit could advertise or not. Because right now, as I'm looking at it, if it's a concert for profit, a little bit lower on the form, it says that the request must include the event title, date, time, location, price, if applicable. So it's a gray line. If you wanted to do it just for the arts organizations in town that are non-for-profit, then that should be a little bit spelled out better, I think.
Yeah, it's okay. That's a good point. No, I think that what we're looking at is, I'm trying to think of an example, and it's kind of it escapes me now. I mean, obviously, the symphony, the women's chorale, the playhouse, they all charge. They are all going to be on the calendar. So
Except they're nonprofit. They're all
they're
nonprofit.
nonprofit.
Exactly, but it does not say it clearly. If I am a for-profit organization that has something to do, I should be able to understand clearly that that's not for me.
Okay, give me an example, Marilla.
Well, let's say that I want to advertise a concert where my school is going to charge at the entrance.
That's
I'm a
okay. It's a
for-profit.
nonprofit, but that's
Yeah.
okay. I can think of one. LaTanya's an entertainer.
Yep.
So she's for profit. So if she wanted to advertise an event of hers in this, that would be a for-profit organization or person, a performer. But I know she also performs in nonprofit arenas. And one of them is usually Elizabeth Park in the summer. And Elizabeth Park could post here with her event in it because they're nonprofit. Right? That's the difference, I think, is what you're saying. So if you
Correct.
spell out nonprofit, an individual entertainer, if that's your intent, an individual entertainer would know that.
See, I would think that you know, Tanya performing at the Russell would be acceptable. I don't see anything on here that does not allow that.
Right, but she's for profit. You got to decide. You want to go for everybody or just
I think we do. We don't. Unacceptable. See, right now the only thing that's unacceptable are classes, seminars, workshops, sporting events.
okay,
Those are things that people like. A class is something you have to pay for. Seminar,
right.
workshop. That's what we're looking at.
Mhm.
Her performing at the Russell, that's open to the public. It's
She
occurring in
could
West
do that.
Hartford.
So, okay, so she's an individual performer. She's on
Yeah.
this committee here, so
Yeah.
she knows about this form. But she's another performer out in the community, and she performs regularly somewhere,
Mhm.
or she's going to have an event, and she wants to, get the word out.
Yep.
This calendar would be good, but she might not know about it because when she goes on the calendar, if it doesn't say there, hit this link to get the form, she won't be able. How would she know?
I think that's an excellent point, and
That's what I was trying to say before, but I don't know I was being clear.
yeah,
And I thought a solution might be, that's what I asked Latanya about. If when you go on the calendar,
Yep.
and you look for your date and then you're like, what do I do now? If there was a link there that brought this form up, you fill it out and then you have to email it to you.
I think that's an excellent
So
suggestion.
Karen, yes. Now I
could work,
understand
right?
what you're talking about, and looking at the actual document. Yeah, that can just be a link right there on whatever web page that's
That the
okay to
calendar's
host it.
on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It can just be a link.
And then over time, the word will get around, but at least it's a way.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to be the filter forever, but you're the filter right now, that you would look and see, oh no, we're not putting Little League games up, but we're putting up a performance that somebody's doing, or like the Arts Emporium, they could be on this calendar.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. But they
Absolutely.
happen to know about it if you sent it out. The people who don't know about it are people that weren't on your mailing list for so they go to the website. There's got to be a little publicity about it, I think, because then other people will know it's there. And they'll look for it. So then they'll know to post.
Yeah.
You don't overwhelm Renee because you're going to be the filter, and you'll see, dry run it for a month and see how it goes. But it's a
Excellent
great
point.
idea. Thank you for working on it. It's terrific.
Excellent points. And I, this was not, since we do not have any ownership or control of WeHa West Hartford, it was a lot of compromise and kind of give and take and back and forth. It wanted to make sure that this worked for everyone, including us. And I think we got to a good place. But it's these are good points, Karen. And I'm going to talk to Renee tomorrow about that and see if that's something that we can do. I personally, I really like the idea of having as long as it fits the criteria, a jam-packed calendar.
Yeah, there's nothing on it, like you said. Yeah.
It's because
Why
when
not?
you go there and if you see like six things for, February 5th, that shows that West Hartford is an active, vibrant place with a really
Sure.
cool arts and culture scene.
Might make a difference for when somebody plans a visit, or they're here for a convention and they see 6 things they have a choice of, or
Yep, absolutely.
mhm.
Absolutely.
And so just to clarify, we are good with the calendar not being limited to nonprofit performances or shows. It will not make that limitation. Okay,
Yeah.
thank
I think some of the other other things that would be on some of the signature events that go on, like Juneteenth and Pride, those would all be on the calendar. If the mayor's ball ever came back and it goes to support arts, I mean, that's how we all got started in this thing. Those of you that may remember 4 years ago, but those sorts of things.
But
We-
that's what I mean, like,
Yeah,
unless you tell Juneteenth or you tell Pride, they won't know that this even exists.
right.
Unless you say, go to the calendar. You keep telling people, all these organizations, go to the calendar, because then on the calendar, the way to make an entry is there. It picks up the form.
Excellent.
That's
Excellent
my
point.
whole point was, that there'd be a link to the form
Excellent point, Karen.
and what to do with the form once you filled it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. Thank you for working on it, Chuck. I think it's an important breakthrough.
Breakthrough. I love that. Any other questions? Okay, great. Latanya, why don't you, and I see we've got a not a typo, but we've changed the name. Next on the agenda, places and spaces for local artists. Why don't you give us an update of the great work you're doing with Blueback on What's Up, WeHa?
What's up, WeHa? Super excited to be able to help host an event in Blueback for local artists here in the community. Sent out 2 emailings to our West Hartford Job Bank artists, and as of yesterday, heard back from 8 individuals that are 8, totally 9, because one was an email outside of that are really interested in the event. The event's going to take place on March 25th.
May.
And
May.
Yeah.
First day back at school after vacation. I have like a mush brain. May 25th, and from 6 to 8 o'clock. The first hour, we're going to have individuals come from 5 to 7 who would like to either perform. And we have about 10 spots available for people to come out and perform. And again, we've had dancers, we've had theater group email and say that they're interested in performing, solo group, group of musicians, and 3 other visual artists, different types of visual arts, which is super, super cool. So looking at that, we're also going to have tables set up for the artists to display their work and to showcase themselves. They're not able to sell their work. The emails that I received back were fine with that, but just, they were questioning whether or not we could do that. We found that out today. Chuck and I actually met with Liz from Image Marketing, who they sponsor Blueback Square. We met with them today. What else there, Chuck? Trying to think. What
Yeah,
else?
I think you hit on it. So it's an opportunity, a free opportunity
Mhm.
for local artists to showcase their work, whether it's music, literature, spoken word, performance, dance, visual arts. They can have a table. It's just a place to get out and be seen, and make connections with people. I appreciate Latanya for kind of taking the bull by the horns on this and, coming up with, first of all, a partner. Blueback is great. That's a great venue.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
doing all the work. This isn't, and Matt, as our treasurer, you'll be happy to know this isn't costing us anything.
Mhm.
We don't have to dip into all that cash we have. For those listening, we have no cash. Just want to make sure. That's right. But it's an opportunity. And going back to Karen's point about the last thing we were talking about, what we're trying to do is in the next day or so is we'll get Ronnie to put out something, just a quick overview of what the event is and how people can register. A link, a link to the sign up sheet. We're in uncharted territory here. We're trying something new, and again, we might not get it all 100% right, but we're doing something. And if this works, maybe we'll do it again in June or July or August with Blueback. And if we see ways to improve it, we'll definitely do that. But we're getting on the board. We want to, and I think it's great that Latania's gotten so much excellent feedback from people that are hungry, that want to be involved. That's what it's all about, is, how do we help these artists? So that's enough from me and Latania. I'm sure you guys have questions.
The other piece, though, Morella, you had touched upon last time ways to reach out to small businesses. I think that was you that talked about that. To say, guys, come on out and see some of these artists, because they, our goal, right, is to help, as we were talking about last time, the places and spaces, getting the artists into these different places here and spaces in town. So I'm wondering how we can connect with the local businesses as well to have them come on out and be part of this, and to see and hopefully be able to connect with some of the artists and welcome them into their spaces as well.
That that cow parade, for example, and maybe this is not the best example, but I'm just going to start there because that crossed my mind. Was each one of those cows were sponsored by a person or a business. So if a business might have a look to an artist's work, might say, oh, I would really, really like to get, this artist to come and work with me and display, and my, I don't know, frame shop, for example, a couple of his paintings. And this way, maybe, new partnerships could be created. And we talked about the window display in front of a store in Blueback Square. I don't know, if we poke a little bit, we might just get some results. If we could maybe get perhaps we can just have the artists that are right now on the bank that then we know of, to submit some work that we can show businesses. I don't know. I don't have a very clear idea, but I know that if we go around and ask business owners, they might be able to support and let people display artwork.
Is there some sort of a mailing that we can send out to local businesses that they open? Like, is there something that they are, is that the chamber? Is that something that we can say, hey, Arts Council's thinking about this,
Yeah,
we're hosting this
absolutely.
event.
As a town commission, the town of West Hartford is a member of the chamber, so we are members of the chamber. I don't know if a mailing. I mean, they have a very active social media. They have several different platforms, and I think that might be a way. Again, by I barely read my mail, but maybe we can, and we can do like I think members are allowed a limited number, but at least a mass email. We could send emails to members, or we could, there's different chapters. We could, specifically reach out to the Park Road Association, or the Elmwood Business Association, or the Center Merchants Association. I think, that's a whole campaign there, which I think would be really valuable.
Sponsor an artist or
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea. That's going to take more than us, talking at our monthly meeting. Are there? I mean, I think that's definitely something worth pursuing, though. I do like that. I think it would be, it's like any other campaign. We have to develop, okay, what's our message? What's the point that we want to get across, and how do we get it across clearly and succinctly? And who are our targets? How do we reach them? I'm happy to work on that, but I'd like to get a few others who might want to meet and talk a little bit about this offline, and report back to the committee as the commission as a whole. Are there any folks that want to be a part of that? Tanya? Anybody else?
I'd be happy to help with that too. I think that's an exciting idea.
Excellent. Okay. So great. Why don't I'll email you two. Anybody else want to join us? Jump in the pool with us? You can always text me later. But the three of us will chat. I'll reach out and we'll figure out a time to get together and chat about that. But I do think that's really, because there's some members of the chamber that this doesn't apply to, and we don't want it. We want to be targeted in how we approach this. And I think they're like, you look at the gentleman, Cody McCormick owns WeHa Brewing, and it's on Shield Street. It's a great place. They have coffee, beer, but they also have art. They have a local artist displaying their art, and I think that's freaking fabulous.
We also have live performers
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the types of people in businesses that get it and probably want more.
Mhm.
There's some folks out there that don't, and that's fine. Maybe they'll come to us eventually once they see the success of others. But it could be, we do an inventory and say, okay, where are places in the center, in Bishop's Corner, in Elmwood, and Park Road, and Corbin's Corner that, could benefit from having, whether it's, art or performers, and then figuring out a way to go out there and reach them. So
Yeah.
how about more on that? We'll get together and yes, Sue.
I was going to add that another idea that I was kind of surprised to learn about is fitness centers.
I love
a
that.
small gym right on South Main Street, and they constantly have artists show work. And that's just my gym, my very small gym. There's lots of fitness.
What is that, Sue?
All over town. So
What gym is that?
mine is, oh gosh, I'm like forgetting the name now. Wait a minute. Oh my God.
Or where's it located?
It's on South Main, right next to the Indian restaurant.
Oh yeah, okay.
God, I'm like having a mental block.
Is that over by the new Hartford Healthcare building?
Is that Ignite?
Yes,
Ignite Fitness?
Ignite, yes, thank you. Ignite Fitness, and it's directly across from that Hartford Healthcare building. So it's just a little gym, but that's how they decorate their walls. They constantly have artists, like they'll have like open houses once a month, different artists. So
That's a great idea. I remember
Oh,
the
yeah.
JCC. I used to be a member there, and I would love to see. I would, after my workout, I'd go through the little art gallery there and just see the different artists, and they would change it regularly. I loved that. Loved
Yeah.
it.
I'm starting an old resentment against the town and Ginny for them shutting us down on starting to get pissed off. Excuse me. But that's something I would love to find places like that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with 224 Echo Space in Hartford. It's down by the cathedral. They have a room there, and they've got an exhibit up by an artist. That's really cool. It's really cool. It's a big public space. Stuff's not cheap either. I mean, I was looking at some of the prices. It's like $4,000 bucks for some of the work. But I would love to get more places in town. So, Ginny, Latanya, we'll talk more about that. I
Sounds
love this. Okay. Any other discussion on what were we talking about again? Oh, no. So, what's up, WeHa?
What's up, WeHa? Mm-hmm.
We'll keep you guys updated as to what's going on with that. Okay. The mission statement. And I see that we had some folks that did. Let me, if you guys have your email available, you can go into. Latanya sent an email, I know, out to all of us earlier. Maybe we can click on that.
Want me to share it on the screen?
Yeah, why don't you do that, Latanya? Thank God we have somebody that's computer literate.
Oh, we're all good. We're good. Let's share. Okay. You guys see it here on the screen here?
Yeah.
So I can't, you guys got really, really small, and I am fairly computer literate, but I don't know why you got so teeny.
That's all right.
Latanya,
Okay.
what I see is just like a home screen of all your files.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I'm not sharing it correctly. Hold on here.
Yeah, do that and then go back and when you hit
Try
share
it
screen,
again. You guys got to see my messy desktop, didn't you?
that's very well organized.
Screen two. No. Okay. My Google Chrome tab. Okay, let's see. Share.
Bingo.
Are you seeing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need it a little bigger, guys?
Yeah, make
Yeah.
it bigger, please.
How's that?
It's good.
Move it over just a little bit.
So what do y'all think?
So I'll jump in first if I could.
Yep.
Okay. I am a huge fan of the places and spaces. I love that. And the fostering connections. I noticed that was, hold on, who said that? Morella and
Sue.
Sue? Is that Sue?
Yeah, I was doing a riff on Morella's. I liked it too.
Yeah, looking at that's why I liked the idea of us all sharing it and everybody can see and we can kind of build on each other's ideas. But like the fostering connections, like that's a big thing for our community, I think.
Can you play around with can you you can't edit this right now, can you?
Let me see. I think I can type.
There you go.
Okay, so I can type in the document, yeah. So yeah, I can type while we talk. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like to enrich our community. I mean, this is just maybe a combination. Number 3 says the same as 4, 5, and 6. I mean, I love community because just my own personal opinion, I don't think our work, has a wall at Prospect Avenue or Avon Mountain. Its community is more broader.
Mhm.
Why don't you take 4 and I'm just to, keep the conversation going
And I'll take out and add
and
in.
add in and foster connections between
Face and faces to foster connections between
yeah. I maybe say I maybe go back to enrich our community by identifying places and spaces for local artists to share and showcase.
It has to be short.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just throw something up and then we can edit it. To share and showcase their work.
oh, I'm sorry, I'm showing my typing skills.
Oh, you're great.
Showcase
We're not going to tell the Board of Ed.
their work. Share and showcase their
And
work.
foster connections between maybe just say the arts community how about between the arts and business communities?
Ah,
Between the arts, or actually, how about between the arts and businesses? We have too many communities in there.
I was just
Well-
thinking that.
You could just say to enrich West Hartford, and then you could use community later.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying, but we are the West Hartford Arts Commission,
Right.
but I don't want to give the impression that we're exclusive. That hey, if you're an artist in Bristol, but you want to do something in West Hartford, or
Yeah, but we're not enriching Bristol. We're enriching West Hartford.
but
That's
if we
if you want to use
but if we have a
community.
if we have a Bristol artist that wants to do something in West Hartford,
That's
we're
enriching West Hartford.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
I could go either way with to enrich our community or to enrich West Hartford. To enrich West Hartford.
I agree with Chuck on the community piece. I'm wondering if could we just say to enrich our community by identifying places and spaces for local artists to share and showcase their work, fostering connections between the arts and business.
Yeah, I like that idea, getting rid of and
Yeah.
like parentheses after work. And then a comma rather.
Yeah,
A
comment after work and then get rid of
work,
that.
and then put fostering connections. Yeah. Fostering connections.
You need an and there though. You need it because you want to make it a sentence.
Right.
So it should be and fostering or
while.
By fostering connections between.
Okay. Bye.
I
Bye-bye.
like and. But
Well,
I'm okay with
fostering.
by. I mean, I like and because I think it's more than just identifying places and spaces. It's fostering
Yeah.
connections.
Yep.
Like we were just talking about that possible future project. But Whatever.
The word while fostering connections.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. To enrich our community by identifying places and spaces for local artists to share and showcase their work while fostering connections between the arts and businesses.
I don't mind identifying. I just wonder if that's the work of the commission. Like I went back and read what the town said. And is there another wider word other than identifying? We talked about this whole thing with the calendar, which is an appropriate conversation for us, but it isn't necessarily identifying places and spaces. It's connecting to places or times, or, you know, that's why I'm just want to look at identifying.
What about, would highlighting or to enrich our community by
I get that.
I don't mind that word. I sort of feel like
It's an action word, which I like action.
it feels very like proactive to me. It's
Yeah.
like we're helping to like just dig up different opportunities, you know, for people and
Yeah.
that.
What do you guys think about the last word, businesses? Is there something, is that too limiting or too specific? I mean, the arts. Because it's not just businesses. Well, I
Well,
mean, I'm fine with it, but
well, restaurants,
it's a business.
yes, stores. Now, I don't know about the library, or that's a separate, it's a very special connection that the library would have with artists, isn't it?
Mhm.
So I think we're looking more into expanding where the artists are right now displaying their work. So towards businesses seems like the right direction. And that doesn't limit, whether they're restaurants or
Yep. What do y'all think?
It'd be sort of nice. I mean, we could add, this is the problem. I don't think we want to add another and, but
Yeah.
something around like fostering connections between the arts, residents, you know, and businesses or something, you know, because we are trying to just not only helping artists connect with businesses, but we're trying to help residents benefit from just like the amazing artists and culture that we have in the town, you know? But I'm not sure how we bring that in.
How about while fostering connections among the arts, residents, and businesses?
Oh,
Like
that's
that.
nice.
I like that. Do you guys mind? Should I type it?
Sure.
I like that among.
So it's not as among the arts, residents, and businesses. So we kind of hit everybody.
Aye, aye, aye. Residences or residents?
Residents, like
E.
TS.
Yes.
ENTS.
There we go.
There you go.
It's Dan to like make this font a little bigger than the 10. I think that's part of the problem. My screen is, it's that time of the day.
Yeah. Why
What
don't
do we think? To enrich our community by identifying places and spaces for local artists to share and showcase their work while fostering connections among artists, among arts, residents, and businesses. Work, comma, right? While work,
Yeah.
comma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we? I kind of like that. Does it? Anybody have any other wordsmithing or suggestions? If
It
not,
feels like it should
Go ahead,
have
Karen.
like the businesses of where or the residents of where. Or among West Hartford. No, I don't know where to put it. Because we can't use community again. You know, like the sentence would be perfect with communities at the end, but we're not going to use it again. Among the arts, residents, and businesses, kind of. Unless we
What-
just say among arts, residents, and businesses, take the out.
what if we started the sentence with the West Hartford Commission of the Arts seeks to
Enriches
enrich,
our community
seeks to enrich.
or seeks, whatever.
I don't want to get it too long, but it
How about instead of identifying, discover?
Yeah, I like
Ooh,
that. I like that
I
better.
love that.
Mhm.
Ay, ay, ay.
Sorry, Latanya.
It's totally okay. I don't know what I just, okay, then what's Hartford Commission of the Arts?
Seeks to enrich our.
By discovering.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that better. A lot better.
Yeah.
Coming along.
Mhm. Quick question. West Hartford Commission of the Arts?
Yes.
West Hartford Arts Commission? Which are we?
Always say Arts Commission. We can.
But is it do you know what I mean? Like sometimes I do an acronym and I'm like, am I doing the right acronym? Is it WHAC or WHCA? What are we?
What do you guys want to call us?
Arts Commission.
Arts Commission,
Yeah, I like that better.
You. And that's what I thought we were. Okay, cool.
Can I, one more thing? For some reason, it reads funny to me at the end where it says, while fostering connections among the arts, residents and businesses. What if we were to say, because we already say artists right there, what if we say while fostering connections among residents, businesses, and the arts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It says
You know
that
what I
works
mean?
better.
I don't know, it just feels weird having the
Yeah.
arts first.
yeah. I like that.
Businesses.
Sometimes it's tough to do this cut and paste with the,
You're doing a great job, Latanya.
oh, Chuck, you're just full of compliments today.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No.
Would be the first
No.
time somebody accused me of being full of that.
No. Oh, we're on TV right now, you guys.
That's all right.
Chuck. Okay, the
I've
West
already
Hartford
done my faux pas for the night.
Commission seeks to enrich our community by discovering places and spaces for local artists to share and showcase their work while fostering connections among residents, businesses, and the arts.
That sounds great.
Who just said that, Karen?
Yeah.
I did, yes. Now, do we have to get this approved or?
You know,
put it
that's a
somewhere?
very good question. Here's my thoughts. It doesn't say in this, we have a mission as chartered by the town of West Hartford, that I think that if we were to change that mission, we would have to go through a process. I think this is something that's for us, and I think we can use this in all of our outreach and any media, as long as we don't say that this is our mission. But this is really, I think this is our mission. The fact is, the mission that's in our bylaws, which I think will stay our mission, was written about 40 or 50 years ago. And I think it's a noble mission, and it's something that's good that can stay on the books. But I think as we communicate with people, we don't have to say that this is our mission, but we can say this is what we do.
Well, we could say, we're trying to communicate to the community what we do, without changing the mission. I mean, we could call it our vision.
Yes, love it.
Vision is good. It's a vision statement.
Love it. Love it. So why don't we do this? Okay, Sue, pressure time. Do you have that? Can you take a screenshot of that?
I wrote it down. I got it.
You wrote it? Of course you did. Okay, great. So I think at our next meeting, what we should do, put as an agenda item, voting for our vision statement, just to make it official.
Okay.
And if people have any last minute changes or, something, they have an epiphany at or whatever, we can talk about it further at the next meeting, but I think we should be prepared to vote on adopting this as our vision statement.
Okay.
Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Good work, everyone. Take the rest of the night off.
So I'm going to change this from mission to vision statement.
Yes.
Cool. Can I close the screen, guys?
Yes, you can close. Does anybody have, not to keep this going, but any other, before we close off this part of the agenda, any other comments? I think that was great. Who says committees can't do anything? All righty. The next thing on the agenda, and I don't have any update on it, but there is the signage, the infrastructure plan that's working its way. I believe that, both these endeavors got our input, and the next step on the town's part is to hire someone to implement it. And, we'll stay on top of that in terms of making sure that some of our suggestions are included. Any questions on that? Okay. Does anybody have any new business they'd like to introduce for the good of the group that we can talk about at the next meeting? Okay, hearing none. I'm sorry, we've run 7 minutes over, but unless anybody has anything else for the good of our group, do I hear a motion to adjourn? Marilla? And Marilla makes the motion, Karen seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of adjourning, raise your hand or say aye. Excellent. Ginny, you got your hand up, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, that's unanimous. All righty, thanks everyone. That was fun.
everyone.
Have a
Bye.
great
Bye,
night.
everyone.
I'll talk to
You
y'all
too.
soon.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
Well,
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.